It's a long fly ball
It is
that
flying.
is back
It is
at the
soaring.
wall.
It is gone. Gone, I tell you.
That
gone.
one's going back. It's at the trap. At the wall. Gone!
It's time for everyone's favorite part of the year. Besides draft season, of course. It's the World Series of Season 7 of the BBOL. This time we're getting started with the Little League, GeorgeBonouki and the Texas Rangers, and Wooper and the undefeated Pittsburgh Pirates. Hello, everyone. This is Alex, and we are joined today by our normal play-by-play man, Ben, Beth, and Beyond. And can I just say, I am very excited that it is finally World Series time here in the BBOL. Would you not agree?
I could not agree anymore. We've had some fantastic playoff games, and we're in store for a fantastic World Series if that continues. So I am so excited I can barely contain myself.
Absolutely. Let's learn a little bit about these teams. Why don't we go ahead and start with the guy who made it past former LL superstar Matty Sams, Mr. GeorgeBonouki and the Texas Rangers.
Yes, so we have these beautiful graphics here, which are courtesy of Extra Fun, who is one of the Little League mods. And so as has already been mentioned, GeorgeBonouki, who took over as the Texas Rangers coach, they started 0-5. And, you know, just like in real baseball, you start off with a couple of losses, you make a manager change, maybe things turn around. Things really turned around. George went 9-0 after taking over this 0-5 team. He secured the number 2 seed in his conference, and then he upset the number 1 seed in the finals to make the World Series. And he has done nothing but been consistent and played really solid defense. So as you can see, he took over as a sub in week 6. They took one loss in the previous round, but again, that was against the number 1 seed, as you would expect. They have a really interesting Tin Can Alley team. So they've got Pete Wheeler, the fastest kid in the game, as well as Stuart Sullivan, who is the same speed tier. He's also a 9-speed as Pete Wheeler. So you got 2 9-speeds at Tin Can Alley. You've got the power threat that is Fred Benson. You've got some really good line drive threats in Sonia Hagen, Nikki Winston, the tall first base legend herself, Jocinda Smith. So they do use that speed. They use, you know, the dumpster ball, the wall ball. They play TCA to their strengths. And they have a very interesting pitching rotation as well. Jerry Mahoney and Paco Kaufman have been kind of splitting the duties. Not your normal go-to pitchers in the BBOL, but in the hands of George, he's done nothing but been a lockdown defense. As you can see, he has some really, really good, impressive wins with this team, 16-1, 11-1, 10-1. So the offense has been there, the defense has been there, the pitching has been there. It's all kind of been clicking on this run to the World Series.
Yeah, I'm really scared of that top 3 of Wheeler, Benson, and Sullivan. Mind you, Wheeler and Sullivan and Benson, who's also quite speedy himself, as we mentioned, they're on TCA. If you play backyard baseball on a cement or blacktop field, like the traction of the shoes, that's what these developers, you know, they kept in mind. You're going to be slower on sandy flats. You're going to run faster on concrete. And so naturally, Wheeler and Stuart Sullivan are in their prime speed, and everyone else gets a little bit of a boost as well. Mahoney, I have had the least amount of success hitting against Mahoney for some reason. I mean, I am a huge fan of Jerry Mahoney, a pitcher right now. Jocinda Smith at first base, which, by the way, was just revealed that she will be in the new Backyard Baseball game coming up on July 9th. On Steam, which I don't know why that's a big deal. She is one of the original characters, so like I don't know. They were touting it as this. They were touting it as this. It's a brand new character. It's Jocinda Smith. No, we've known her for 30 years now.
Oh man, hey, you know what? It's not bad news, I
It
guess.
is not bad news in the slightest.
Misinformation, but at least it's good news.
If Papyrus is in chat, she is probably losing her mind at this very moment because that is her favorite character. But yes, that is your Texas Rangers ball club right here. As you see, got a TCA squad. But what's that out in the distance? I see an undefeated ball club from Big City Field. It's Wooper and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yes, it as you mentioned, undefeated in the regular season and in the playoffs. So they are a collective 18-0 coming into the World Series. Now, the World Series is a best of 5, so you got to win 3 out of 5. I think the unbeaten run may end. If they did go completely undefeated and go 21-0, that would be one of the best seasons in BBOL history, I'm sure. But it's very tough competition on the other side. So we'll see how long they stay undefeated. So they beat Jasmine in the first round, and then they beat Bido in the second round. You can see the players on the screen there. Cheryl Reynolds, who is the always threatening power threat. She was the home run leader during the regular season. 12 home runs, 69 total bases, an average almost at 600. She has just been driving this offense. And as you can see, some of their big standout scores from this offense: 17-1, 13-2, 12-0, 20-0 wins. They're just so well-rounded. Their offense was the best in the league. They scored 119 runs in 14 games. They led every single offensive statistical category except for singles for some reason, but they were still third in the number of singles hit. But it wasn't just all offense. Their defense was absolutely locked down as well. Their team ERA was almost under 1, and for the postseason, it's been a little bit higher, but still, just such a solid team all around. Claudia and Wally add a little bit of speed to this team. I really like Gwen Sears. And Artie Pimbleton. They're both really good defensive pieces. Alicia Blakely plays first base. They use a pitching rotation of Fernando and Chucky, and it's really worked out for them. As I mentioned, during the regular season, they were pitching lights out. Fernando had a 1.07 ERA. Chucky had an 0.27 ERA. Just been absolutely dominant up until this point. So it's going to be very interesting. As we just saw, George has a lot of speed players, and BCA can play into that because it gets a little bit of random bounce. It's no dirt yards, but it's got a little bit of random bounce to it. So the speed team's going to do well there, and then this team is going to do well at TCA as well. Cheryl can get it up on the truck, no problem. Plenty of players that can get it up on the truck and the dumpsters as well. So I think we're going to see some really, really high-level baseball here.
This is not the only time you will see Cheryl Reynolds in the World Series. As you know, the Fishes just made it to the World Series in the Humongous League, and Cheryl Reynolds is the leader of that squad as well. You also notice no pro players, no backyard kids. These are all NPCs on the squad. So Wooper going for the alternative route instead of immediately going, I want Pablo. Pablo's the greatest. Keeping in mind those cool statistics in here. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this on screen as we get this game 1 set up. Right now, you're looking at the bracket for the Little League World Series. The Little League playoffs. As you see in the first round, Jasmine and Tristan. Jasmine took care of Tristan no problem in 2 games. Andy Rue and Badu was able to absolutely just sneak past Andrew. And then, of course, Badu and Devil Dave had that fantastic series you saw here on the Backyard Sports Center like a week ago in the semis. It was a pretty tight game. I thought that Devil Dave was going to sneak past with that walk-off in game 1, but Badu was able to come back. Meanwhile, Wooper took easy care of Jasmine and the Wombats, and then they were able to make it past Badu. It looks like a little bit of a challenging game 1, but they were able to handily take care of them in game 2 at TCA. Going down to the front yard, you'll see Mr. Pants, and the Astros did not have a chance against Notorious Pun and the Indians. Honorable mention and Hode. played in the other front yard quarterfinals, and they went to 3 games. Honorable mention took care of that with the Mariners. Notorious Pun was not able to get past GeorgeBonouki, who was the, if I am not mistaken, the 2nd seed
Yes.
of the tournament. Was able to get past him in 3 games. Pun was able to win game 1, but couldn't quite make it past. Honorable mention fell to Matty Sams and the Melonheads in the semis. And then GeorgeBonouki barely, and I mean barely, 8-7 was the final score of game 2, got past Matty Sams in the front yard finals. And that is how we find ourselves in this game 1 of this Little League World Series, as I'm making the final touches to the stream. Hopefully this, that right there I think will be perfect. Oh my goodness. This is going to look so nice.
Pulling out all the stops for the World Series.
Oh, I'm pulling out every stop we could possibly stop. And this, I'm actually going to, hold on, make sure this, oh my goodness. Let's center this, shall we? That way it actually looks good. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. As we transition into the World Series, here we are. You can see what looks to be Wooper logging on to see if we can get. Oh no, it's a video. Oh, you've found our tricks. That's right. They've already played. The World Series. We don't know what's gonna happen. Is it gonna go to game 4? Is it gonna go to game 5? We don't. We can't tell you. We cannot possibly tell you.
Yes, this is a tape delay. Both of these coaches were so gracious to, and believe it or not, they played the entire series in 1 day apparently, and then they sent all of the recordings. And I have not watched anything. This is a live reaction, just like you all are gonna have. I know absolutely nothing that's going to happen, but we really appreciate them. Not the only 2 people in the entire world that know the results are Wooper and George, but they have been sworn to secrecy, and they have done a really good job of keeping that secret.
Absolutely. We have no idea who is going to win what. We just know that they played. So, as you can see, Wooper is taking a little bit of a defensive workaround. As you can see, Fernando Diaz is the pitcher of choice to start this game. Meanwhile, what looks like Jerry is going to be pitching for the Rangers.
Yes, which makes sense. He's been the starter so far in the playoffs. As I mentioned, Paco will come in to pitch. Sonia Hagen has come in to pitch a little bit during the postseason, but if you want to call it an opener, Jerry Mahoney has been the opener so far.
There we go. And we're getting real close here.
Really teasing us.
Really teasing us with this ball club. And now that I turn up the volume, I think we are ready to play some baseball here. Ben, why don't we go ahead and get this game started?
Absolutely. So, I hope you enjoyed our little pregame show, but don't worry, it is finally time for baseball. And as always, leading off for the Texas Rangers is the first of these speed threats in Pete Wheeler, who fouls off the very first pitch of the game. So Fernando Diaz gets credited with a strike for the first pitch of the Little League World Series. And then the second pitch is a little bit outside, so evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pete Wheeler has been a quintessential leadoff, and you see why. That's going to be trouble immediately. It's a 9-speed, but Gwen picks it up and throws out Pete Wheeler just in time. Every ground ball is going to be a close play at first base, as that's a big first out for the Pirates, as they're able to keep the first 9-speed off, and now they've got to keep the second 9-speed off the base path, and he's bunting right away, but it's going to be right back to Fernando Diaz, who picks up, throws to first, not in time! And as I just mentioned, the ground ball is always going to be a close play for Stewart and Pete, and in this case, one of your 2 leadoffs is on, and that brings up, with a runner on base, Fred Benson, the dangerous power threat, who takes a good pitch down and inside for strike 1.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how fast your players are. If you hit it straight to the you're gonna get out easy. It doesn't matter if you're Pete Wheeler or if you're Stuart Sullivan. You gotta hit it around them no matter what. And Stuart is able to do that.
Yeah, that was a good bunt laid down by Stewart, as Fred Benson is now ahead in the count, 3 balls to 1 strike. So as you would expect, pitching very carefully to the power threat, as that is ball 4 taken all the way, and there are now runners on first and second. So an early threat here for the Texas Rangers, as that brings up Nicky Winston, who did have 11 RBIs in the regular season, and so far in these playoffs has a couple of RBIs to his name. As I don't think that's going to do it. That could be a double play to second for 1, on to first. It is a double play to get out of trouble for the Pirates. And you see why their team ERA is so low, because they play really, really good defense.
It looks like GeorgeBonouki is going to face a clone of himself, who is really Wally Evans. I know they all look the same. I swear, they are different people.
They are different. You know, I get that a lot where I have friends that have watched and they say, yeah, they all look the same. How do I know, who's different? And I'm like, well, as that is ripped down the left field line, ranging over and standing under it and making the catch is Stuart Sullivan. So a good whack, but it held up just long enough for the fast Stuart Sullivan to retire Wally Evans, and that is the first out of the game for the Texas Rangers on defense, as Claudia Villarta takes ball 1 a little bit too low and inside. Claudia's been having a really good playoff so far. She's batting .583 with 2 triples and 7 runs scored. So when she gets on base, she is a threat, but she is behind in the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Jerry taken all the way inside to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 swung on, and a ground ball that's going to pull Jocinda off the bag. She's going to race to first and beat out Claudia Villarta. So 2 fairly easy outs to start things off, and that's good news for the Rangers, because the number 3 hitter is Cheryl Reynolds, and you definitely want to have the bases empty for her with all those home runs that she hit in the regular season and all the home runs that she has hit in the postseason as well. She's got 8 RBIs, leading the team in these playoffs, as she takes a ball much too high. So now it's 2 balls, 1 strike to the shortstop of the Pirates.
You wonder if putting Pete Wheeler in center was a good idea, because they're going to, with Cheryl Reynolds, the right-handed hitter, she might hit the ball pretty far to left, and it looks like a walk is going to be, they don't want to pitch to Cheryl Reynolds.
No, they do not. And it's interesting that you mentioned Pete Wheeler in center. I know he's a very common center fielder for a lot of people just because of his speed and his height, but he surprisingly led the team in errors during the regular season, as first pitch swinging is Alicia Blakely. The throw to second base is not in time. Jocinda was pulled off of first base, so the only play was to second, but Cheryl Reynolds is able to get there and beat the throw from Jerry Mahoney, who does not have the strongest arm. So from 2 quick outs and nobody on, now it's first and second for the Pirates. So both teams getting runners on first and second early on here. The Rangers not able to cash in. Can the Pirates take advantage, as Artie Pimbleton's ahead in the count? 2 balls, no strikes. And then fouls that pitch away. Artie Pimbleton, who was an all-star in the JL, and he's done just as well here in the Little League. He had 13 extra base hits and 16 RBIs in the regular season, as that is a 2-2 pitch that is hit back. This is going to be trouble, but it's picked up by Jocinda and thrown to second to get the slow Alicia Blakely. So both teams get runners on first and second. Both teams leave them stranded. And we head to the top of the second. Our score still 0-0.
Yeah, that swing was just a little too late there from Artie Pimbleton. Granted, no matter where he was going to hit it, as long as he was able to hit it out of the infield, it probably would have been able to do something. But if that ball hits the grass before it reaches the pitcher's mound, it's trouble. It is big trouble with 2 people on.
It is, as we get our first pitching change of the day, and first pitch in for Chucky Flinder is Jocinda Smith grounding that to the third baseman, but picked up and thrown over in time, in plenty of time. is the old pitcher, Fernando Diaz. So Murray Goldman comes up to the plate, and he'll take strike one on the outside corner. And then swings and fouls this one away, so he's now down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. And then he swings at the 0-2 and hits it right to Alicia Blakely, who picks it up, steps on first. And now there are 2 outs in the inning for Sonia Hagen, who seems like the Rangers made their own pitching change here. She's listed as the pitcher now. So the Rangers taking advantage of that timeout from the Pirates to do their own shifting around defensively. So we'll see her on the mound after she completes this at-bat. But she's down no balls, 2 strikes. And then strike 3 looking.
That is
Chucky Flinder.
That is a really good fastball from Chucky Flinder. You can see he barely clipped that corner with that hook pitch, and hook corner pitches are the most dangerous pitch to hit in the entire league. And then with a fastball that fast, it's going to be hard to try and get one off when you're if you're in the wrong position.
So we do see Sonia Hagen taking over on the mound. As I mentioned, Jerry Mahoney has typically been the opener here in the playoffs, but it's been a solid rotation of Sonia, Jerry, and Paco Kaufman, who I'm sure we'll see at some point, as Gwen Sears steps up to the plate and is now ahead in the count. 2 balls, 1 strike.
She's just been doing good defensively. Let's see if she can move her success to the offense with the bat.
Yes, she was a midseason acquisition, as that is strike 3 looking on the top left corner. So she is not able to do anything offensively. And that brings up the former pitcher and now right fielder, Fernando Diaz, who first pitch swinging, fouls it straight back into the stands. There's a souvenir for a lucky fan. As that is maybe a wild pitch. That is well outside and probably not where Sonia was aiming that. So 1-1 now. Swung on in a soft ground ball up the first base line, and it is going to go foul before Jocinda could get there. Probably a break for the Pirates, as it looked like Jocinda was going to be able to pick it up and tag out Fernando. The 1-2 pitch is fouled straight back again. Another souvenir, and the count stays. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sonia fires. A little bit too inside. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fernando Diaz kind of struggling here in the playoffs offensively as he fouls another pitch away. He's only got 1 hit in those 4 games. It was an RBI single, but definitely needing to pick it up offensively as he fouls another one away. So a good at bat at least. He's making Sonia Hagen work. And another foul ball. Man, a lot of souvenirs for the fans here.
There's a good at bat from Fernando Diaz.
Very good at bat. Let's see if he can do something with it. That's a ground ball. That's going to be trouble. That's going to get by Jerry Mahoney. And there is the second hit of the playoffs for Fernando Diaz. So a base runner now for the number 8 hitter, Donald Vogel, who also only has 1 hit in the postseason so far. As he swings and skies this one to second base, Jerry Mahoney readjusts and makes the catch. So still with only 1 hit is Donald Vogel. So 2 outs and a runner on first. That brings up the pitcher, Chucky Flinder, who, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but also only has 1 hit so far in the playoffs. As the hit and run was on, but back to first goes Fernando Diaz. So it's 1 strike on Chucky Flinder. Sonia sets, fires. A little bit too low and outside. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Swung on, and is this going to get by Pete Wheeler? It is going to get by Pete. Well, it's not going to get by him. It's going to hit him right in the head and then bounce back into the infield. So Pete had a chance to make that play, but not able to, so the inning is extended. And that brings up Wally Evans with, again, runners on first and second. So 3rd time we've seen runners on first and second here early on. Nobody's been able to get a runner to third base, as Wally Evans is now ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes.
The bottom third of the Pirates lineup had not been making a whole lot of noise up until this point, and now here in the World Series, they decided to turn on the Jets. They've realized how serious this is.
That is the perfect time to turn on your Jets, as Wally Evans was taking all the way on that 3-0 pitch. So the 3-1 pitch is ball 4, just misses by a mere few pixels. And all of a sudden, it's bases loaded for Claudia Villarta.
Claudia Villarta, if I'm not mistaken, is the Larkin clone? Either the Larkin clone or the Garcia Parra clone. One of the two. I know CRK is about to Larkin clone. Okay, I was about to say, if I get something wrong, CRK is going to actually the crap out of me in the chat.
Yes, our resident Excel sheet, CRK. As Claudia Villarta takes strike 1 from, and in fact it is Paco Kaufman coming into pitch. As that is a line drive, it's going to get by. The left fielder is going to go all the way to the wall. Run 1 is in. Chucky Flinder is rounding third. He's going to score. Heading to second is Claudia Villarta, and Wally Evans is going home, and he's going to make it upstanding. A bases clearing double for Claudia Villarta, and the Pirates now lead 3-0.
It's that field, that little awkward bounce that was able to fool Stuart Sullivan out there. And with that not great arm, every single person on base was able to score.
And it's not over yet, because now you've got to face the power threat and Cheryl Reynolds. And right as I say that, she skies this one to left center. An absolute no-doubter. And just like that, you see why they're the best offense in the league. It is all of a sudden 5-0 Pirates.
Cheryl Reynolds continuing to dominate in these playoffs throughout every league, if we're going to be honest.
I get to add another home run to the counter in the chat.
580 feet, my goodness.
That was absolutely crushed. So the Rangers still needing to get the third out in the inning, as that is a swing and a miss from Alicia, who was looking to go back-to-back with that swing. Rangers need to get it out, need to get out of the inning. All of a sudden, a crooked number has been put up, and they're 1 strike away now. They're ahead 0-2, but that's a little bit too outside. Good take from Alicia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 from Paco is much too inside. An easy take for Alicia. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now runs the count full. So from 0-2 to 3-2, Alicia Blakely's got a full count. The payoff pitch. Ball 4, just a little bit low. A really good at bat there after swinging for the fences on that first pitch. Accepts her walk. So the inning continues, and that brings back up Artie Pimbleton, who grounded out his first at bat, and he takes ball 1. So that's now 5 straight balls from Paco Kaufman, as that is ground ball, and this might end the inning. Diving as Paco Kaufman throws the first in time to retire the side. But the Pirates come to life. They score 5 in the inning, and all of a sudden they've got a 5-0 lead as we head to the top of the third.
I'm starting to see why these Pirates were undefeated this season. Wait a minute.
That might be what the Rangers needed. That's deep. That's to right field. And that baby is gone.
I'm starting to see why the Rangers are in the World Series.
A solo shot from Jerry Mahoney, and the Rangers are on the board, and they're showing some life.
You know, in Discord, when they're playing the games, when Jerry Mahoney does something good, they'll put that gif of the Jerry Springer show going, Jerry, Jerry. It's a perfect moment for him right now.
That would be perfect. So, the Rangers are on the board here, and swinging first pitch is Paco Kaufman, and picking it up is Gwen Sears. As I already mentioned, stellar defense, and she's able to reach over and grab that one and retire the speedy Paco Kaufman. So that takes us back to the top of the lineup in Pete Wheeler, who's got bases empty, 1 out. So certainly able to claw back here are the Rangers. They're back to the top of the lineup with those speed batters in Pete and Stewart. As this one is grounded, it's going to get by. It's to Wally Evans, who just in time picks it up at second base and throws out Pete Wheeler. So Pete Wheeler 0 for 2. That's not what you want to see if you're the Rangers. So 2 outs, bases empty. your number 9 hitter who did get an infield single his last at bat and tries to do it again this time, but bunts it foul straight back. So now he's down in the count, 0-1. Tries to bunt again and fouls this one back, so he's going to have to swing if he wants to get on base. It's now no balls, 2 strikes. Chucky Flinder sets, fires. And that is strike 3 looking on the inside corner. So Chucky Flinder gives up the solo shot, but then retires the speedsters Pete and Stewart. And we head to the bottom of the third. It's still all Pirates right now, 5-1.
And Gwen Sears is normally a really good contact. Well, trying to think off the top of my head if Gwen Sears is decent with the contact. Like, when I say contact, she's more of a slap hitter. And as you see right there, that's a foul ball. I'm pretty sure her contact is like a 16 or a 1. I don't remember which.
I believe it's 16, but she's been able to do a lot with that. She batted 500 in the regular season in the 10 games that she was with the Pirates and scored 11 runs. But that's not a hit. That is a swing and a miss. Paco Kaufman gets his first strikeout of the playoffs.
And that is Sears' second strikeout of the game.
Yeah, you can see that poor contact stat coming into play, especially when there's 2 strikes. As I was just talking about how well she had been doing. Another caster curse here as Fernando Diaz is down in the count quickly. No balls, 2 strikes. So Paco Kaufman, fresh off of his first strikeout of the postseason, is looking for his second, but that is too low and inside, an easy take, and that is well outside, maybe a wild pitch to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that is strike 3 looking. So from no strikeouts in the playoffs to back-to-back strikeouts for Paco Kaufman. He sits down Fernando Diaz. And I can see our resident Excel sheet CRK in the chat is confirming it's like 10 for Gwen Sears' contact stat. As first pitch swinging is Donald Vogel. And trouble with it is Jocinda. She picks it up and is not going to be able to recover. So a little bobble there from the first baseman, Jocinda, who did have 5 errors in the regular season. Extends the inning for Chucky Flinder. 1 for 1 today. And first pitch swinging, he hits it right back to Paco Kaufman. And that should get us out of the inning. It does. Been plenty of time. Retires the pitcher. And we're now halfway through this game. It is still 5-1 Pirates.
Playoff Paco being responsible for all 3 outs for the Rangers in the bottom half of the third.
As Fred Benson fouls this one up the right field line. He's not trying to walk again. As we get a timeout here from the Pirates and some defensive realignments. It looks like Fernando Diaz is going to come back in and going to... catcher is Chucky Flinder. And going to right field, it looked like, was Donald Vogel. So have to keep an eye on that if Fred Benson is able to get on. Although he is a 5-speed. As that is popped up, Fernando Diaz is camping under it. And he makes the catch. So Fred Benson now 0 for 1 with a walk. Not what you want if you're the Rangers. And base is empty, 1 out. That brings up Nicky Winston. And Winston he takes ball 1 high and inside.
A very solid power hitter. I believe his power is in the 80s. But I don't think
he's always a threat.
Yes, I don't think his contact complements his power, but he's got more of that Mike Piazza, Willie or won't he power. But ahead in the count 2-1, he has a chance. Nope, he doesn't. Now we're at the we are now at the what was it called? It's some Chuck Woolery count. That's what it's called. I'm sorry. The 2-2.
Another foul ball. What is the Chuck Woolery? Who's Chuck Woolery?
Chuck Woolery was the game show host for what I want to say is the match game. Old as he pops out. Old 80s matchmaking game show.
Okay. A little bit ahead of my time as Jocinda Smith, first pitch swinging, gets this one by Cheryl Reynolds, who still throws the first, but too late. And that is a 2-out single for the Rangers' first baseman. So that brings up Murray Goldman. 0 for 1 today with a runner on first now. And he is first pitch swinging, fouls that one off. So some aggressive swings here from the Rangers now as they're down 4. And that is into the gap as the shift was on. Diving is Cheryl Reynolds to second base just in time to get the sliding Jocinda Smith. So the Rangers still only have the solo shot from Jerry Mahoney, who is back on the mound. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, it is still 5-1 Pirates. As we get back to the top of the lineup for the 3rd time already here for the Pirates, that's Wally Evans, who's 0 for 1 today with a walk.
I would like to apologize. Love Connection was the show I was talking about, not the match game.
I forgive you.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't. I really don't.
I'm on my high horse.
I
I want to be correct with everything I say before someone freaking corrects me for the 5th time.
As that is lined to right field, but ranging over is Fred Benson. So a solid hit, but right at the right fielder, and that is 1 out. And that brings up Claudia Villarta, who hit the bases clearing double her last time at bat. But this time there's no runners on, so no chance for an RBI. But that's going to be a single. So back-to-back hits for Claudia Villarta, and with 1 out and a runner on first. Fresh off of her home run last at bat is the shortstop, Cheryl Reynolds. As that is outside for ball 1.
Unfortunately, the hook not biting as much as it should.
And that just catches the bottom of the zone. So we are seeing careful pitches, but pitches nonetheless to Cheryl as that misses inside to take the count to 2-1. And now that's not going to be another home run, but that is drilled to left field. Going back is Stewart and making the catch at the wall. So good contact there from Cheryl, but a good play by the left fielder. So now 2 outs. Runner still at first for Alicia Blakely, who singled her last at bat. Excuse me, she walked her last at bat, and that is a high fly ball, but not deep enough as Pete Wheeler is adjusting and drops the ball, and it's going to go into second. Oh, no. It's going to be a ground rule double.
Thankfully not enough to score everyone, but that is a very costly error, and it could be very costly if Artie Pimbleton hits one back into the outfield.
Yes, kind of fortunate that it's a ground rule double, because if it wasn't a ground rule double, then Claudia Villarta is probably home easy. And they may get out of the inning as that has popped up back to the pitcher, Jerry, who throws to first just in time. So the error from Pete Wheeler does not come back to hurt the Rangers. They're able to keep the deficit at 4, but it's getting pretty late here. They've got to get a rally going as they're down 5-1 in the top of the 5th. And they're going to ask Sonia Hagen to lead things off, and she might do just that. First pitch swing, that is a deep drive to left field, and that is long gone. Another solo home run for the Rangers. It's now 5-2.
These Rangers are slowly but surely getting back into this game. You could just say, oh, that was only a solo shot, but a run is a run in this game.
Yeah, you would love to have some runners on base here, but you can't complain because it is, yes, it's cutting into the lead, and it's giving you some life.
Speaking of home runs.
Speaking of home runs, exactly, is Jerry Mahoney, who hit a home run his last at bat and was going for another one with that swing, but it was 2 inside, and he swings right through it. So he's down in the count 0-1. Fernando Diaz fires, and that is fouled straight back. So Jerry Mahoney now down in the count 0-2. And he is swinging, and not going to be a home run. It's much too shallow. Ranging over is Claudia Villarta, but she drops the ball. So an error from the Pirates now, as there's some backyard baseball shenanigans going on, and the ball will eventually get back to Fernando Diaz. So both these teams, very solid defensively, not committing a lot of errors in the regular season. We do see a couple of errors now from both of these teams as Paco Kaufman is swinging, and Jerry Mahoney is in trouble. He is absolutely gassed.
Jeez.
And he is going to get tagged out. The hit and run was on for the gassed Jerry Mahoney, but A swing and a miss by Paco, and another swing and a miss, so he's now down 0-2.
I don't think I've ever seen a player run that slow in a very long time.
Yes, so clearly some stamina issues for the Rangers here, as that is up the middle, but grabbed by Wally Evans. And that should have ended the inning. That was the third out, if I'm not mistaken. So
hello?
What? I believe that should have been the third out.
Are we tripping?
But we're playing on here. Maybe I was wrong, as Wally Evans is able to adjust, but not in time, and Pete Wheeler gets on. So I guess I'm crazy, and that was not the third out, and Pete Wheeler is now on first base.
What?
As there's a fastball right down the middle. I'm
help.
Not quite sure what's going. And maybe now we have a desync.
Oh no. Yeah, it seems to be a bit of an issue here.
Yes, it seems like we're having a desync, and we're gonna have to reset. So I'm not crazy. I could have sworn that was the third out.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where the desync happened, as Jerry Mahoney was thrown out, caught stealing there. So it seems like we're gonna take a short pause here as we get a reset. So it'll be 5-2 Pirates in the top of the 5th inning. I don't know if they'll put Pete on first or if they'll go back and record that third out, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll have to see what the coaches decide.
Yeah, eventually we'll see
Sorry,
exactly what happens here. Oi. Okay, it seems we're back. Okay, we're able to. Okay, for those who aren't aware, they already played their games. We're just pulling up the second half of the video. We should be good now. Stuart Sullivan up with one guy on. I think they're gonna try and replay that out here.
Yes, that should be the case. So we'll give it a whirl.
Let's see what happens.
And it seems like they did put Pete Wheeler back on first base. And bunting is Stuart Sullivan. Not sure if this was a true bunt or if they're just trying to get out. And either way, the side is retired. So we are going to be heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 5-2 Pirates. That's always my biggest pet peeve with the desyncs, is you got to remember the score in the innings. Keep track of that. As Gwen Sears first pitch swinging, and that takes a wild hop, and looked like it was going up the line, but it gets past Jocinda to her left. And so one pitch and a single here for Gwen Sears, her first hit of the game.
Finally, her first hit of the game.
Finally. So Fernando Diaz with the runner on base comes up to the plate, and he takes ball one. And maybe a fortunate reset for the Rangers. I mean, they're still going to be down 5-2. They've got to get through the bottom of the 5th. But as you can see, they were having some serious stamina issues with Jerry and Paco and maybe Sonia. So that could be really fortunate for them. And they could certainly get 3 runs with their lineup, as that is grounded to second base. No one was covering first, so the throw goes to second. Not in time. Everyone is safe. And there are now 2 on, nobody out. So as I mentioned, you got to get through the bottom of the 5th before you think about a comeback, and you certainly don't want to give up any more runs. As Donald Vogel comes up in first pitch swinging, that's a chopper, always trouble. It's going to get by the pitcher, Jerry Mahoney, get by Paco Kaufman. Going home is Gwen Sears. The throw is not going to be in time, and an insurance run for the Pirates. It's now 6-2.
Yeah, as soon as the ball went to Paco, I was like, third baseman scoring for sure.
Yes, that is the downside. George is a wizard, because since he took over, there really was not a lot of runs given up by this team, but they've got a lot of noodle arms, a decent amount of noodle arms on the right side of the field, as Chucky Flinder looks at a strike on the inside corner. Now 2-1 to the right fielder for the Pirates, and he swings and fouls that one to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So a heads-up play there, knowing you've got the weak-armed Paco Kaufman at second base, as that is a swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. Good base running by the Pirates, knowing you've got the noodle arm there at second base. So 1 out. That brings up the top of the lineup, Wally Evans, with runners on base. So you want to try to get through this without having Cheryl Reynolds come up with runners on base, because then the game could really be put out of reach. But you're behind in the count now, a little bit less so, with a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike to the left fielder. And then misses a little bit low, so certainly don't want to walk him full here. The 3-1 count. That is a swing and right to the second baseman, Paco, who is not going to be able to make the play. Rounding third and heading home is Fernando. The throw is going to go to third base. Not in time. Donald Vogel slides in. That's an RBI for Wally Evans, and it's now 7-2 Pirates. They are in command here in Game 1. As the steal is on and no throw down to second. So a stolen base there for Wally Evans. So runners on second and third for Claudia Villarta with Cheryl Reynolds on deck as she takes strike 2. Just clips the bottom of the zone. So she's down 0-2. But takes inside. First ball of the count. 1-2 now to listed as the catcher, Claudia Villarta. Swings and misses. So 2 strikeouts in the inning now for Jerry Mahoney, but he's not out of trouble yet. He's got Cheryl Reynolds, who's already got a home run today. She's got a chance for 3 more RBIs. But with first base open, are they going to see a walk? No, we are not. That was a good pitch, but fouled back from Cheryl Reynolds.
You could also be thinking, I pretty much got this game lost, and we have at max 5 games in the series. What's the? You probably don't want to pitch around Cheryl Reynolds. Regardless, bit of a pop-up. What is this little bit of a miscommunication there? That's a very high RBI single there from Cheryl Reynolds.
Yes, and that is the problem with Pete Wheeler. As fast as he is, he does not have a good eye, so lining up high pop-ups like that can be really, really difficult. And it's another RBI, and maybe more here as Alicia Blakely hits one, but it looks like it's going to be just short. But dropping it is Stuart Sullivan, so it's all going downhill now for the Texas Rangers. As Cheryl Reynolds is going home and scores
she's getting that
as
for
the
sure.
catcher was idling. Oh, my goodness. This game has been busted wide open. It is 10-2 Pirates.
Yeah, at this point, you know, a comeback is very, very unlikely, so it's probably just get this game out of the way and get ready for Game 2 for George.
Yep, definitely want to get this one done as soon as possible. And we will have game number 2 for you tonight. We are streaming 2 games, the first 2 games of this series. So game number 2 will follow this game immediately. It's going to be at TCA. As Artie Pimbleton fouls this one away to keep the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jerry Mahoney desperately trying to just end this game as a comeback seems less and less likely, as another foul ball to keep the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a freeze ball that falls just short of the top of the zone. And it looks like that tired out Jerry Mahoney. So they're going to get a new pitcher here. As the Pirates take advantage and put Claudia Villarta back in center field and Donald Vogel back to catcher. Oh, never mind. Donald Vogel is going to go to right field. Really a lot of thought being put into this with a 10-2 lead. So Paco Kaufman takes over. He takes over a 2-2 count on Artie Pimbleton. And a line drive in the gap as the shift was on, and having trouble again is Stuart Sullivan. Alicia Blakely is going to get to third. Heading to second is Artie Pimbleton. The throw goes to the pitcher. And so it's just adding insult to injury here as more bobbles and defensive miscues for the Rangers. And this is the most runs they've given up in this season by far, as maybe this will get him out the inning, but that's trouble there as Gwen Sears is heading to first. She's safe. The throw goes home, but the catcher was looking the wrong way, and it is another run for the Pirates. You see why they were the best offense in the league. That's 11 runs in the World Series against an opponent who had only lost one game all season.
Good news for the Rangers is they'll be in their own home territory, which is Tin Can Alley, for games 2 and maybe 4 if they can get a win out of game 2.
Yes, I will say I would love to see more baseball. So I'm not going to openly root for anything, but as this is always trouble. Oh, Pete Wheeler's actually running away from the ball, and that's going to drop by Sonia Hagen. So another run is going to score as Stuart Sullivan runs over Pete, and heading home is Gwen Sears. And again, the catcher is idling, but it doesn't matter because the ball had no chance of getting there. And game number 1 is going to be an absolute blowout now. It's 13-2.
At this point, it's more than a 10-run lead. It's very possible that George might just want to call it here.
It would certainly be understandable. And it seems like that was an intentional walk pitch, so maybe they're talking about it. They're conversing about... And nope, that's going to be a pitch into the zone there for Donald Vogel, who fouls it off. The 1-1 pitch fouled away again. So again, Paco Kaufman is one strike from getting out of it, but has had trouble so far with that, as that is another soft little grounder, but pulling Jocinda off the base, but able to get the runner at second just in time to finally end the inning. But another, so we saw the Pirates explode for 5 in the 3rd inning and now 8 in the bottom of the 5th. And it is, again, after that reset, 13-2, as Fred Benson was definitely swinging for the fences, trying to at least get something back here.
I think in the mind of George, it's just like, we just got 1 inning left. Let's just get it out of the way. Just play baseball until it's over. Which, still is only 3 outs away as Wally drops that one.
So can we call it a little bit of life, a sign of life, maybe, you know, as the first runner is able to get on, but we'll see if he's able to catch this one, and he is. He's not going to make the same mistake twice, so that's a good baseball player there. Learn from your mistakes, memory of a goldfish, and make the next play. So we do have 1 out for Jocinda Smith, who is first pitch swinging, but is going to foul this one up the right side. The 0-1 from Fernando Diaz, and that is a line drive. That's going to get down in front of Artie, but he's going to throw it to second in time. The relay to first, not in time. Ooh. So a good play there from Artie Pimbleton, getting the runner at second on that sharp line drive. And so the Rangers down 11 and down to their last out. They're asking Murray Goldman to keep it going, but that might do it here. Chucky Flinder picks it up, throws to first, and game number 1 convincingly goes to the undefeated still Pirates. 13-2 will be the final score. And we're going to take a short break, and we will have game number 2 from Tin Can Alley coming your way in just a little bit.
And now a poem called I Need to Be Adopted by Michael Jordan. I told some friends that I was the son of Michael Jordan. How does the rest of it go? Frick, excuse me. And now a poem called I Need to Be Adopted by Michael Jordan. Very shortly. As there is an ad break right now. I told some friends that I was the son of Michael Jordan, and they were a bit confused because I'm slightly older than Michael Jordan, and I explained to them that in the state of Illinois, you are allowed to adopt somebody older than you, and somehow they believe that, and I'm good for now, but they're coming over on Friday, and if Michael Jordan is not there, they're gonna know I lied. I need to be adopted by Michael Jordan. If I am adopted by Michael Jordan, then I will wash Michael Jordan's car. Then I will collect an allowance from Michael Jordan. Then Michael Jordan will tell me about what love is, and hopefully Michael Jordan will tell me because I should know about that by now. I need to be adopted by Michael Jordan. We are back with playoff baseball here at the Backyard Sports Center. We are ready for Game 2 here at Tin Can Alley as Wooper is getting his lineup set up yet again. As you all just saw, Wooper handily took care of GeorgeBonouki and the Rangers 13-2 in game number 1. However, there is still maybe 5 games, maybe 4 games. Who flippin' knows? Maybe just 2 games of baseball left to play. And so we are just getting everything. All situated here. It looks like they have the lineup. Looks like we got a Discord ping. And I think we are going to have some baseball. And Jerry Mahoney is back on the mound for the Rangers in their new red and white uniforms as the Pirates are going to don all black. Wally Evans lead things off yet again, and game number 2 is underway. Swing and a foul ball going backwards. Jerry Mahoney ahead in the count, 0-1. A ground ball that's going straight in front of Mahoney, the very slow Mahoney. Wally Evans is quite fast, and he is there. And the Pirates already have a start of a baseball game. So as a mysterious green blob has entered Tin Can Alley, the grounds crew is going to go ahead and vacuum that right back up. I believe it is gone now. I don't know exactly what that all was, but there was a big green blob on the field. It is gone now. We have gotten rid of it. Throw to second is in time, but Claudia Vallarta, as speedy as she is able to make it to first base here on concrete. And that'll bring up the ever so dangerous Cheryl Reynolds, who had that 580-foot blast in game number 1. She's going to look at a very low strike 1, float on down slowly across the plate. Jerry Mahoney going for a hook this time, and it's pretty high. Reynolds is going to... No, she's going to stick with power. She's going to hit the ball. Swing and a miss. She is not going to hit the ball as Jerry Mahoney has his first strikeout of this game. And now we have Alicia Blakely up for the Pirates. The
So that was actually That was Cheryl Reynolds' first strikeout of the postseason. She had yet to strike out.
Blakely's going to ground this one over. Throw to second is off of the glove of Sonia Hagen. And we have 2 base runners now instead of a finished inning. And Artie Pimbleton up again with 2 runners on. And that is strike 1. Mahoney's still pitching very well against these Pirates, but the Pirates are putting bat on ball. Someone's going to catch that, and it's going to be the center fielder. And the Pirates are done here in the top half of the first inning, and the Rangers are on their way up. And leading things off is the ever so dangerous Pete Wheeler. You'd think after all these years he finally realized that the pitcher is right there, but you know, Pete, not the brightest of the bunch, just real fast.
And sometimes that's all you need.
Especially in games like these. And right there you can see exactly what we're talking about. He made it. On any other field, that'd be an out, but this is Tin Can Alley. This is that concrete. And he's probably going to try and go for a steal as well, with Stuart Sullivan coming up to the plate right now. Stewart's going to bunt this one right to where they want it. Gwen Stefani picks it up. Throw to second is not in time. They're both safe anyways.
Wow, send that one to New York. I thought he was going to be out there.
And now Freddie Benson has a good opportunity to send one on top of one of those. Instead, he's going to hit it to the ground again. No one's covering first base. And Cheryl Reynolds does not get the ball. And Pete Wheeler's coming home. It goes past Donald Vogel. And the Rangers are in the lead for the first time this series.
That was really aggressive base running, and it paid off. They forced a throw home. Donald Vogel was coming off the base. That's just really love to see that when you have that tough game 1 to just be super aggressive with your speedsters.
The Rangers have learned a little bit from their first game, or that home field advantage is coming in play really hard too. Here comes Nikki Winston, who's another big threat of hitting one on top of the bins. Once again, they hit it. Oh, it's off of Fernando. That's going to be another run for the Rangers. And everyone is safe. So Nikki Winston doesn't need to hit one on top of the trucks, on top of the bins, and the Rangers have a 2-0 lead here in the bottom half of the first in game 2. And Jacinda Smith is going to swing and miss, going for the hit and run, and it's a little bit of a failure. Fred Benson is in a bit of a rundown, and so is Nikki Winston. One of these guys might just have to be sacrificed, and Freddie Benson will be sacrificed. And that's the first out of the inning.
So I was just complimenting the aggressive base running, and then it turns
and then
into
it backfired
them
on them,
running
yeah.
themselves into an out.
Jacinda Smith unable to get that very low right hook. She is down in the count, 2 strikes. Swing and a liner over to Reynolds. This could be an easy double play, but Jacinda Smith might be able to make it. No, she is not able to make it. That is a double play for the Pirates. After giving up 2 runs here in game 2, we now are at the top of the second inning. Score is 0-2, as I said already. And now Gwen Sears. Odd that she would be going for power right now, as she is one of the she is the Alex Gonzalez clone, not the greatest power hitter out of the pro bunch.
No, I wonder if and now she switches to line drive. I wonder if she's thinking that, you know, maybe just a pop-up is going to have enough to get on top of the dumpsters.
The truck is definitely pretty shallow there in left center field. That was going to go straight into the concrete. That's an easy pickup for Jacinda Smith, out number 1. And now we got Fernando Diaz, the pitcher. Pitch from Mahoney, a good right hook. That's just a little too inside. A little too much bite there. Fernando Diaz waits patiently for his pitch. That's another ball. So Mahoney, dancing around the corners, has yet to paint one. That one's low ball 3. 3 straight balls from Jerry Mahoney. The question is, do we go ahead and... No, we do not. We're going to go ahead and pitch some strikes to Fernando Diaz.
I would not want to walk the number 7 batter here. You're pitching at the bottom of the lineup. I'd pitch the contact.
A good diving grab by Sonia Hagen there. And there's 2 away now for Donald Vogel.
The tables have really turned here. We saw a lot of defensive miscues from the Rangers in Game 1, but now they're playing pretty good defense and some defensive miscues from the Pirates.
That one's grounded over to the first baseman. Once again, just into Smith, an easy pickup, and this time she's just going to tag out Donald Vogel, and that's a really quick top of the second, and we go into the bottom half of the second inning. The Rangers, after scoring 2, is going to look for some little early insurance here. As the timeout is called, and the Pirates are going to be making a defensive/pitching change. Moving some players around. It looks like Diaz is done pitching, and Flinder is now the pitcher for the Pirates. Murray Goldman bloops it over the head of Alicia Blakely. Diaz coming in, though. A diving stop by Claudia Vallarta. What a play! Running all the way from second base all the way out to right field and making a diving catch. Absolutely incredible play. Sonia Hagen now. And this might be a little bit... Ooh, Cheryl Reynolds knows the IQ. She runs away from Claudia Vallarta, preventing the collision, and Vallarta catches the ball for out number 2. And now we have Jerry Mahoney looking at strike 1. Chucky Flinder finally getting one past the plate and not right into the bat of these guys. Fouls away. Jerry Mahoney very quickly down in the count. 0-2 pitch from Chucky Flinder. Swing and a foul ball behind everyone. Ooh, that one's hit up the middle. Artie Pimbleton. It's off of Artie Pimbleton. Claudia Vallarta steps on it. Throw to first. In time! Claudia Vallarta with a stellar defensive showing here in the bottom half of the second. And the Pirates are coming back up to the plate.
Boy, you better... Jerry Mahoney is in desperate need of a juice box after pitching those first 2 innings, it seems.
As Mahoney never been a speedster, but definitely now after pitching all those innings, the only thing he could have done was practically hit one on top of the bins, and it just could not be done. And Paco Kaufman now the pitcher for the Rangers. Flinder is going to loop this one over to Justin DeSmith. It hits off Justin DeSmith, but playoff Paco is able to pick it up and step on first for out number 1. And here comes Wally Evans, the leadoff batter for these Pirates. That is inside ball 1. Very close to a strike, however. It's another one that's very close to a strike, but is ball 2. Wally Evans wants to send one deep. He does not. He swings right through a pitch in the lower inside corner. That one's popped up right in front of Kaufman. Winston Kaufman, who's going to catch this one? It is Kaufman for out number 2.
You want to know how bad my caster's curse is? Is that I was thinking in my head, wow, Wally Evans, 11 doubles regular season, already has 3 doubles in the postseason. He can definitely get a truck ball. And just thinking that, it caused him to pop out.
Claudia Vallarta quickly lines out to Pete Wheeler to end the inning. You know, you got to stop rooting for these people. You just got to let the game happen.
I've got to be mean.
You've got to be mean. I hope the Rangers lose. I hope the Rangers get a 1-2-3 inning. That's what you got to say. This is going to be a 1-2-3 inning. Chuck Flinster is going to pitch a freaking immaculate inning right now. And it's impossible to do so because he's already pitched the ball. That is a Paco Kaufman easy single. Oh, and it goes past and out of play! Very unfortunate because Flinder was not able to get the ball from... catch the ball thrown by the very aggressive arm of Cheryl Reynolds. That one goes into no man's land out there past all the buildings and whatever is over there. The newspaper bins. And now Paco Kaufman is on second base. Pete Wheeler, another speedy guy, is up, and he immediately hits one straight to Claudia Vallarta. Should be an easy out, but Paco Kaufman's going to go all the way over to third base. And Stuart Sullivan should be able to could be able to bunt. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. A bunt. And no one's there. A diving. Oh, there's a little bit of bad news bearsery. And the Rangers have another run. Paco Kaufman completes his journey around the bases. And it's 3-0 here in the third. Deciding
really good response here.
Yes. Pirates immediately having a team huddle and scramble here. And they were perfectly ready for that too. They were like, we know that Stuart Sullivan's going to bunt. Let us be prepared for that bunt. And it was going that exact direction. They just immediately ran into each other because they were all like, I got it, I got it, I got it. Benson with a shot. Is this one going to go on top of Mo's aluminum? Yes, it is. The first truck shot of the series. And this one is going to stay on there for a double. No one's going to score. And Nicky Winston is coming up with one out. And runners in scoring position. Swing and another one. This one's going to go off of Mo's aluminum. Another run should be able to score here. 4-0 now in the third. Runners are now at the corners for Jacinda Smith. Jacinda Smith, the reveal for Jacinda Smith in the new Backyard Baseball game actually was a Tin Can Alley. Donald Vogel is going to look around, throw to first. Jacinda Smith is out, but now runners are in scoring position for Murray Goldman. I believe Jerry is after Murray. So if Murray gets on base safely, the Pirates are going to be in a little bit more trouble. But that is a good
Jerry's
pitch from...
definitely got the power for a truck ball.
Either a truck ball or a bin ball that hits off the top of those recycle bins. Claudia Vallarta plays tennis with that one. However, she is able to pick it up, throw to first, and the Rangers are done. But a couple more runs for them in the bottom of the third. The score after halfway through this game, Pirates 0, Rangers 4. Paco Kaufman back on the mound for the Rangers, and Cheryl Reynolds is going to lead things off for the Pirates in the top half of the fourth. Uncharacteristically not doing too hot, but this is a good little bounce. And she's going to get past Jacinda Smith, and she will make it to first base with a leadoff single. And now we've got Alicia Blakely. Going to look at an inside pitch for ball one. No hit and run just yet. Cheryl Reynolds is not the fastest. Really, really good arm and really, really good bat, though. As for Blakely, she does have the really, really good bat. She's one of the slower players. But there's that really, really good bat. As this one might go on top. No, it's going to hit off of Mo's aluminum. And it's going to go on top of the bins in right field. Cheryl Reynolds might score if she runs home. I think they know it's going to be a double. In this game, if you run home during a double, they will send you all the way back to third. So that is smart by Wooper to not waste any stamina there for the Pirates. And Artie Pimbleton is now up again with 2 on. Pimbleton wants to see what hitting a home run is like. He's going to look at strike 2. He's not going to get that chance. He's got to hit for contact. Low, ball 1.
And you just knew the Pirates' offense was too good to be kept down all game, and this is a really good opportunity for them to get right back into it.
Paco Kaufman, inside ball 2. That's another very hard hit ground ball. Cheryl Reynolds is gonna score. Alicia Blakely running from second to third. We might have a rundown. No, we will not. Maybe we will. We still might have a rundown. Oh boy. Alicia Blakely slowly trying to make her way to second base. Alicia now coming back to third. Now she's going back to second. Now she's going back to third. Now she's going back to second, third, second. This is probably going to be a double play. Yes, it is! Alicia Blakely trying to get on third base, does not make it. And now nobody's on with 2 outs, but a run does score. And so Gwen Sears is not completely in the dark. as she hits this one into right field, straight over to Pete Wheeler, who ends the inning. So the Pirates show some life, but is quickly taken down by the Rangers defense, and the Rangers are looking for some insurance here in the bottom half of the fourth with Sonia Hagen, who had a home run in game one. She's looking at ball one from Fernando Diaz. That one's going to be grounded over to Gwen Sears. Out number one. I nearly said Gwen Stefani. God, that would have been. I was like, Gwen S.
I mean, they do kind of look alike, I guess. You know,
maybe
when
yeah.
Gwen has dark hair.
I thought Gwen Stefani was like famously a blonde.
I thought she had dark hair at one point, but
When she was in No Doubt, she definitely had blonde hair. That is into the corner, into that little into that right center field corner. That is an easy hit there for Jerry Mahoney, but Paco Kaufman is now coming up to the plate. And the likely story here will be ground ball. No, this one's going to be fouled backwards. Here we go. Paco Kaufman was going to hit this one straight to Fernando Diaz. Jerry Mahoney might be thrown out. That is a double play, an inning-ending double play. Once again, Jerry Mahoney's slowness not doing anyone any favors, as he just might need to take a little bit of a break on the bench. But he can't, because he's the second baseman. Fernando Diaz leads things off here in the top half of the fifth inning. Has not been fruitful today. That was going to be fouled behind everyone.
Yeah, this bottom of the lineup came to life in game one after only having 3 hits combined, but it seems like they're back to that lackluster offense here in game two.
Yeah, most of the heavy lifting has been done by Reynolds, Villarta, Blakely, and the gang. Ooh, looking at strike three. Those weak hooks can still be very deceitful. And now Donald Vogel, the fresh arm of the Pirates, the catcher choice of the Pirates, as of right now at least. Looking at ball one right at the feet. Swing, and that one's going down the right field line. Will it be fair? No, it will just barely go over the line. That is a foul ball. The count is now 1-1. Paco Kaufman, the fastball is just a little high. Vogel looking like he could eat that ball. It was so close to his face. Blakely is absolutely famished right now.
Yeah, it seems like her and Jerry Mahoney are in the same boat there.
Those
they are
poor, slow power hitters are just not having a good day right now. And with nobody on base, they're thinking about putting her a catcher, but they probably need that. They also probably need that arm and all that stuff. Now they're putting Claudia at catcher. Now there's just going to be a little bit of defensive shuffle right now for the Pirates. And meanwhile, the Rangers are going to have a pitching change. Sonia Hagen is going to pitch now. And that one's immediately hit over to Jerry Mahoney, and it goes past Jerry Mahoney, and that is going to be, boy, Donald Vogel is going to try for second base after that little miscue right there, and he is going to make it to third base. And he's going to stay there because Pete Wheeler is right there. The tag champion, I'm sure, at the elementary school, Mr. Pete Wheeler. Oh, not tag champion as in he's good at tagging. Tag champion as in no one can catch him. Donald Vogel, falls onto concrete. That is going to hurt. Though he is going to make it to third base, and there are runners at the corners. As Sonia Hagen runs over poor Murray Goldman at third base.
This is a big moment here. It's the top of the lineup for the Pirates with runners on base. This is, I mean, if you don't get anything with the top of your lineup here, that may be ball game.
The tying run is at the plate. Mr. Wally Evans looking ahead in the count, 2-0. That one's hit pretty deep. This one looks like it's going to go at least up against... Yes, it will go up against the bins. That's going to be another run scored for the Pirates. The lead is now cut in half. And now the lead is at the plate. Claudia Villarta
with Cheryl Reynolds on deck.
The Rangers are in trouble. That one's hit. Foul. Larsa looking to put bat on ball. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Currently failing at putting bat on ball. Switching to line drive so she can put bat on ball. She does. It goes into the ground. Jacinda Smith picks it up. Steps on first. Throws to second. Is out. Chucky Flinder is going to stay on third. But here comes Cheryl Reynolds. There's the power bat.
I was just about to say, the Rangers have not been walking Cheryl this series, but with first base open and a 2-run lead.
That one straight to Jerry Mahoney, who gladly picks it up, throws it to first, and that's out number 3. So, the Rangers escape, but the lead is cut in half. Pirates 2, Rangers 4. Fernando Diaz back up to the pitcher's mound, and here comes Pete Wheeler to lead things off for the Rangers.
This has surely got to be the longest the Pirates have been down all season. I can't imagine they've been losing for 5 innings at any point.
And this one is fouled behind everyone. As a matter of fact, they haven't lost a game by more than 2 runs. And they have given up 4 here today. That is an easy out, though, for the Pirates' defense. Stuart Sullivan comes right back up. Yeah, they beat Mike Madness 6-2. Mike featuring Mike 6-2. Stuart Sullivan going for the easy bunt, and he'll get there as Claudia Villarta falls on the ball. Tusk Healer got 2 runs off of Wooper. Miki Momo got 2 runs off of Wooper. And that's a fly ball by Fred Benson. That one's going to hit the building. And Chucky Flinder's going to fall on that one. And oh, there's a bit of an idle animation here. But Fernando Diaz is able to pick it back up. But that is a double for Fred Benson. And already the Rangers are turning on the Jets, trying to get some insurance runs here. Nikki Winston, another power threat. Looking at strike 1 from Fernando Diaz. Swinging a line drive over to Gwen Stefani, who does not catch it. Throw to first is in time, but a run scores. And it is 2-5 here in the bottom half of the 5th. And the Pirates...
Big insurance run.
Yeah, and the Pirates' big players just batted, so most likely this is George saying, we're going to play some home baseball here. Oh, off of Chucky Flinder. And it goes over to Cheryl Reynolds at third. Runners at the corners. And now Fred Benson is going home. And Fred Benson's going to score. It's like he knew. It is like he knew the arms weren't going to be enough. The score is now 2-6. The most runs given up by Wooper. That's out number 3. The Pirates are coming back up to bat with 3 outs left before they go back to their home stadium of Big City. And Sonia Hagen's on the mound, ready to face the red-hot Alicia Blakely. Red-hot as in she is doing well today. 1 double and 1 single. That is a good catch from Pete Wheeler, out number 1. R.D. Pimbleton.
We may be getting ready to witness the first loss all season from the Pirates.
That is a line drive over to Fred Benson, who catches it for out number 2, and the Pirates are down to their last out. I think we have all learned a valuable lesson, and that lesson is the Pirates are mortal. And I think they might just be calling game here as Gwen Sears is looking to bunt and wave the white flag. Regardless, both of these teams are going to be in the Junior League next season for Season 8. As this one pops up, Gwen Sears, and it looks like... Ooh, this might go up against the... It will go up against Moe's Aluminum, and Gwen Sears is safe on second with a double, so a little bit of life there. And Fernando Diaz is going to follow up. A swing and a miss, strike one. Stefani is going to go back. Nope. Gwen Sears is going to go back to third, and she has a stolen base. And now she's on third base, still with 2 outs. Trying to cut the lead in half again. That is high. Strike two. Down to their last strike. Sonja Hagen. Is she going to put it away? Inside fastball. Just a little too low. The slow ball. Looking, strike three called. And the Rangers do the impossible. They have beaten Wooper and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So there will be at most 4 games, which means that George could continue to play good baseball at TCA. And if he continues to do so and shocks the world and beats them at Big City Stadium in Game 3, George could have a world championship to his name. But he's got to go back, and he's got to go back to Big City Stadium where Wooper is. So far, this has been a home team World Series.
As I said in that pregame show, I would have been really surprised if George wasn't able to at least get one. I would have been really surprised if it was a 3-game sweep. So, of course, it comes at TCA, and he'll have to go back to Big City Stadium as you mentioned, and we should have game number 3 for you sometime this weekend, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. We'll have to see, because we've got some HL World Series action for you starting tomorrow and then continuing through the weekend as well. There's also a JL Front Yard Finals series that is starting on Saturday afternoon. So a lot of baseball coming up this weekend. You are going to want to tune in. You don't want to miss any of it. It is an exciting time as we get towards the end of Season 7.
Hello? Would you like to play?
I realize now that I have been talking, and I think I accidentally muted my mic. So, yes, we are looking at the guys we are going to stream right now. We are going to raid. This is Palette Swap Magazine. We're going to take a risk and raid a video game publishing site. We're going to see what happens there. But thank you guys so much for watching. We will have so much more playoff baseball coming to you very shortly. But for right now, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy the raid. Give me a second while I type it all out.
Oh, I see why it took you so long.
Yes, because I was trying to raid. We will see you guys later this weekend for more Backyard Baseball. For now, let's just say they're not really playing Backyard Baseball. They're playing Blood on the Baseball Tower? What the heck is going on? I think they're playing RPG Backyard Baseball. Let's take a look.
Hey, so far you've been killing it with your raids.